Hey Overcomers, I am Dara Marie. I'm your favorite mindset teacher, and this is Be an Overcomer, where you are inspired and empowered to walk by faith and use the gift of imagination to create the life you desire. So Overcomers, this message is ask and receive. How to program your subconscious mind and the importance of self-concept, because everything stems from you. So Overcomers, I want to read to you from Hebrews chapter 4 and 16. So let us come boldly to the throne of our gracious God. There we will receive his mercy and we will find grace to help us when we need it most. So other translations basically says come boldly to the throne of grace. As believers, as conscious creators, as people that know we are made in the image of God, we are to go to God boldly with our request. In the book of James, it also says, you have not because you ask not. Sometimes we're asking amiss. We're not asking correctly. And a lot of times we don't understand our God-given power. So sometimes when we go to God in prayer, we're not going to him boldly. His word says to come to him boldly. We're not supposed to be like begging. You're a child of the Most High God. You were created for great things. You were created to live a victorious and an overcoming life. Meaning no matter what challenges you may face, no matter what is happening in your life, no matter what is happening around you, you were made to win. I want you to understand that. Okay, so I want to read to you today from The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And you know how much I love this book. I'm like constantly reading from this book. I love Joseph Murphy, love the books of Neville Goddard as well. Love their works, just amazing, because they talk about mindset and how you can literally shift your thinking so that you can shift your life. So in this section, I'm reading from The Subconscious Mind Works Continually for the Common Good. The subjective self within you works continuously for the general good, reflecting an innate principle of harmony behind all things. Your subconscious mind has its own will, and it is a very real something in itself. It acts night and day, whether you act upon it or not. It is the builder of your body, but you cannot see, hear, or feel it building, as all this is a silent process. Your subconscious has a life of its own, which is always moving toward harmony, health, and peace. This is the divine norm within it, seeking expression through you at all times. How man interferes with the innate principle of harmony. To think correctly, scientifically, we must know the truth. To know the truth is to be in harmony with the infinite intelligence and power of your subconscious mind, which is always moving lifeward. Every thought or action which is not harmonious, whether through ignorance or design, will result in discord and limitation of all kinds. Now, earlier it says to think correctly, scientifically, we must know the truth. We know in the Bible it says, and you shall know the truth, and the truth makes you free. Once you know this truth, that you are supposed to be consciously creating your life, that you are supposed to be moving by faith and flowing with God in faith and literally creating your life. Once you know this truth, life becomes limitless for you. Why do I say that? Because you will realize, like, there may be a challenge, there may be a circumstance, there may be whatever it is. But if you decide to speak to the mountain, as the Bible speaks of, if you decide to speak to it, it has to move. So this is why our work as people of faith, as conscious creators, is to continually renew our mind daily to the things that God is calling us to. Okay? And it's so important that you understand that whatever you're asking for, whatever your dream is, whatever that goal is, whatever that vision you know that you have, it is for you. I believe our visions, our dreams, the things that we desire, I believe God has given it to us. And since he has given us that dream, he's going to help us to fulfill that thing. But you have to believe. The key is to believe. The key is to walk by faith. The key is to continually renew your mind to the things that you want. And how do you do that? You impress your subconscious mind by thinking as if you have that thing already. Okay? Too often in this world, we focus, I always tell you this, we focus on the negative. We focus on what's not working. We focus on the latest headlines. And a lot of times the things that are out there, it's not to our benefit. It's not positive. It's not uplifting. It's not inspiring. Okay? And trust me, they understand this. Even in business, there is a rule called the marketing rule of 7. Basically, a consumer has to see something 7 times. They have to hear the message at least 7 times before they will make a decision to buy, okay? To buy a particular product or to buy a particular brand, because they understand that the mind, the subconscious mind, it loves repetition. So once you know this, your job is to program your mind for the best, for the highest, for the grandest. Whatever your dream is, I want you to start to see it as if it is done. I want you to envision it. This is where you must tap into your imagination. And you know, Neville Goddard talks a lot about imagination. Okay? Even Napoleon Hill, who wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, like literally your thoughts create. Okay, thoughts become things. Earl Nightingale once said, we become what we think about. So whatever you continually think about, whatever you continually feed your mind, okay, it will be expressed in your reality. So daily, overcomers, your job is to discipline your thoughts to align with that thing that you desire. No matter what it looks like in the 3D. No matter what the circumstance is, no matter what the latest headlines is. And this is why I always tell you, you need to know what your vision is for your life. Okay? And you proceed and you move by faith. That's how things shift. When you move by faith and not by sight, that's when the miraculous happens. And use your imagination, okay? Because imagination, it creates reality. So, overcomers, I want to also share one of my favorite Neville Goddard quotes, and I know I've shared this like plenty of times, but I absolutely love this quote, and it talks about imagination, and it ties into the subconscious mind and also your self-concept, because how you see yourself is how the world is going to be reflected back to you. So if you see yourself as a success, the world is going to see you as a success. On the other hand, if you look at yourself as a failure, the world's going to mimic that back. If you see yourself like, okay, there's like all these, the possibilities are endless and opportunities and blessings, and that's what's going to be shown back to you. But if you think the opposite and you think lack and you think limitations, that's going to be reflected back to you too. So basically, Neville Goddard, his solution to that, what's showing up in the 3D, he says this: do not bow before the dictate of facts and accept life on the basis of the world without. Assert the supremacy of your imaginal acts over facts and put all things in subjection to them. Hold fast to your ideal in imagination. To attempt to change circumstances before you change your imaginal activity is to struggle against the very nature of things. There can be no outer change until there is first an imaginal change. Meaning nothing will change out here until things change in here. Meaning your mind. This is why the Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Your thoughts are literally creating your life. It's your continuous thoughts. It's the thoughts that you keep looping in your mind over and over. And this is why the world, they understand this. Okay? In marketing, when they want you to buy a product or a business, they have to show it to you over and over and over on repeat. I want you to start to pay attention to certain commercials. You'll see certain car commercials over and over. It could be brands of cereal over and over, whatever it is. Next thing you know, you're like, weren't even thinking about buying a particular cereal or thinking about a particular car. Now you're thinking about it. Why do you think that is? Because they understand that if they can feed your mind with repetition, it will get impressed in your subconscious mind. So your job as a conscious creator, once you awaken to this God power within you, you start to move through life with intention. You start to understand you're going to create your life. Just like if you go to a restaurant, you don't sit there and wait for them to just bring out whatever. You actually take your time. You look at the menu, you decide what you want to eat, and you place your order. You're placing your order. I know, some people say the universe, but I believe it's God who created the universe, and God works through that, and in a way we don't know how, brings those things to us. Our job is to just believe. Our job is to ask and then receive. Move in faith, flow in faith, use your imagination. Okay? Create an affirmation that relates to the thing you desire and speak it as if it is now the present tense, and watch it come to pass. All right? We know the story I can't remember if it is in The Power of Awareness or the other book by Neville Goddard, The Law and the Promise, but there was a story of a lady who had so many troubles in her life. And Neville Goddard just told her, as you fall asleep, start saying, "Isn't it wonderful?" Because your subconscious mind knows what is wonderful to you. Your subconscious mind knows what you desire. God knows what you desire. God knows what you're asking for. Start speaking as if you have that thing now. And as you start to speak it with repetition, somehow, some way, it will manifest. Like I tell you all the time, I don't know how this thing works, but I know faith works. Trust me, I know faith works. So your job is to put your faith to the test. Every day I tell you, think of something you want to see show up in your outer world. Tell nobody. Wait for it to show up. That's how you know that your thoughts are creating your life experience, okay? Overcomers, I hope this encouraged you today. Ask and receive. Use your subconscious mind, tap into your imagination, and that is how you create your best life. So overcomers, if you like this message, please share it, please comment, please subscribe. Also, in the description box, for those that want more coaching, I offer one-to-one coaching services. That information is also in the description box. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all, and always be an overcomer.